Hey there, this is Mario from shockingfit.com, and in this video, I just wanted to address a question that I just got from a community member that I find very interesting and funny at the same time. So the question was, how strong was I when I first started lifting? And this came from a guy called Kenny, and I think his story was, let me just check here. I think he said that he just started lifting and all his friends are stronger than him. So he was curious, how strong was I when I first started? And I found the question quite interesting. So I remember back in the day when I first started, I didn't even know anything about gym, right? Today, I think people are a lot more knowledgeable about, okay, they know what bench press means. They know what a squat is because there's a lot more marketing and there's a lot bigger push for fitness on like social media. So people are a lot more knowledgeable. I mean, they know what a bench press looks like. I remember when I started, when I went into the gym for the first time, when people were talking about bench press, I didn't even know what the fuck that means. Like, I didn't even know what the machine looks like. And just going back to that time, I think the first session that I ever did in the gym was with my friends who already been lifting for, I think, 3-4 months. And they put me on a bench press. So obviously, that's like the thing that they were training the most. I just know, recalling that they were training like bench press like 3 times a week or something, just bench press and biceps most of the time. So going to the bench press, I think I did an empty bar for like 10 reps, and I could do that. So an empty bar for 10 reps, that was fine. I think the bar was like 45 pounds and 20 kilos. And they would add 5s on the side, 5 kilos, and that was, I think, 11 pounds. If you do some maths, that's 65. So I think I did 65 for about 6-7 reps before I hit failure. And it just pinned me down and nobody actually wanted to help me get out of it because it was such small weight that I was just looking ridiculous. And they were just a little bit laughing at me. So I got embarrassed a little bit when I just did that. And going back to that, I think I felt a little bit embarrassed, but just looking at how they lifted and how much they could do, they did like, I think one guy did like 185 for like 5-6 reps, which is a lot. I mean, considering that I was doing practically nothing, and I was very impressed by that. And one guy did like 225, like 100 kilos for actually, I think it was 2-3 reps, and I was super impressed by that. I mean, there was a lot of spotting and just helping out. The form was kind of bad, but knowing what I know now, but it still was quite impressive. I mean, for me, I was shocked actually how much my friends could lift, because I was thinking that, I mean, if I can lift this much, then maybe they can do a little bit more, but they can't do that much more, because how could a human being do more? Because they looked quite similar to me, right? They were like, we were standing next to each other. I was like, yeah, you're not that bigger than me. But yeah, apparently, like, I mean, they had a couple of months of practice and they were lifting a lot more. And going back to Kenny's question, I mean, his friends are a little bit stronger than him, and I feel like that's a good thing, right? I mean, you don't want to be the biggest fish in the pond in your gym. Like, I remember when I moved from the first time when I was living in Barcelona, for example, I think I was among like the first, top 3 people in terms of strength in the whole gym. And it was not that motivating. I mean, it's cool for a while. You're like, yeah, people are just watching you deadlift like 200 kilos, but it's not that motivating as much as when I lived in Finland, right next to a gym where it's like 80% of the people are professional powerlifters and bodybuilders and strongmen. I was feeling like at the bottom of the fucking food chain. You know, the guys like squatting 250 kilos, like deadlifting 300 kilos right next to you, and your 200 kilos feels like shit, right? You're like, damn it, you know, I'm like, this is definitely not my like best times when it comes to like just comparing myself, but I felt like in that environment in Finland, I was actually progressing a lot faster because I was not the biggest fish in the pond, and I had other people to motivate me to lift more. And I would say for a beginner, it's really critical that you find those people that you can get that motivation from, like that can inspire you. It's not like that you depend on them or something, but it's cool as an inspiration to know what is possible. And that's something in a lot of gyms that I try to find right now. When I was living in Asia, it was really hard because people are just not lifting that much in a commercial gym. And it was really difficult for me when I traveled to find, right now in Seville, in Spain, I mean, I went to a gym. If I see guys doing pink dumbbells, I'm like, oh shit, I know how this is gonna end up. So I always try to seek out a gym that people will lift more than me. And I do that simply to see with my own freaking eyes. It's not enough to watch YouTube videos. You gotta see it with your own eyes, someone lifting like 50% more than you ever lifted. And that thing you just get that motivation, you get that inspiration, you see, damn it, it really is possible, right? Before you see it with your own eyes, you're like, yeah, I mean, I know these guys breaking records and all this, but you don't know how it looks like in like 3D space. Like, you don't know what it looks like right in front of you. And I would say that's a good thing, right? Having people that are ahead of you, with you in the gym, is the best thing you can do for you. And I'm actually glad I wasn't the strongest one among my group of friends, because the strongest people actually gave up. And I don't know why. I mean, there could be a ton of other reasons. Life happens. I mean, they just lost priorities. They did some other stuff. But I feel like the part of that was that they got that instant gratification from a lot of praises, and people were like, yeah, man, you're strong. You have the talent. You have the genetics. You have all this. And it just made them not try as hard, while I was really trying fucking hard to catch up. And I feel like that work ethic that I built up in the beginning helped me a lot in the long run, as I was looking at this as a process. I got introduced to the fact that all the good results had to come from hard work, and that's what helped me in the long run, because I didn't just get anything served. I had to work for it, and I feel like that made a huge difference in my development and my long-term progress. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something, and I would actually be very curious to see what amount of weight could you lift when you first started. So leave in the comments below, how much could you bench press when you first started? So that's a question for you there. And if you just started, just leave it below and let's discuss that. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to click subscribe below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.